Welcome to the Learning Center, a place where nurses can learn and discuss the newest and best practices to triage their patients.
Before we get too far into things, make a list of all the types of difficult calls you could experience when working in telephone nurse triage. If you took the time to write your list, and I hope you did, you're likely to have some of the key areas we're going to review, including these 4 on your screen. Difficult calls to take may include difficult callers who are angry, demanding, abusive, etc. Difficult situations, such as calls about abuse or neglect. Extremely worried callers. Unauthorized callers, including family or friends of authorized patients, minors, or non-parents that are taking care of minors. And chronic callers can be difficult to handle as they call repeatedly about the same thing, or even about different ailments on a regular basis. Now, let's take a look at these in more detail, starting with types of difficult calls. Let's take some time to talk about everyone's favorite caller, the difficult caller. Every day in every business in every country, there are people answering phones just hoping there won't be a difficult caller on the other end of the line. Unfortunately, there will always be difficult callers. Fortunately, there are ways to work with them so that their attitude doesn't become your attitude. So write down some adjectives that describe types of difficult callers, not words you'd like to say to the difficult callers. When you're confronted with disagreeable callers, it helps if you keep things in perspective. So keep in mind, people are at their worst when they are scared, sick, tired, or hungry. We have all felt these things at one time or another. Therefore, we can feel compassion when confronted by someone else facing these emotions. Managing difficult callers doesn't have to be a really difficult thing. A big part of it is how you view the situation. If you are calm and realize that you are there to help, you can avoid being part of the problem. In addition to being compassionate and understanding, you can manage difficult callers in 3 easy steps: listen, relate, and propose an action plan. How exactly do you do this, though? I'm going to tell you. To truly listen, you have to focus on what the other person is saying. Don't talk over them. Don't text your friend. Try to truly grasp what they are saying, and to make sure, ask if you can clarify what you heard. The first step in managing difficult callers is to listen. To relate means that you show empathy for the situation. As we discussed, by showing empathy for someone, you can really diffuse a negative caller. We all like to feel like we're not only listened to, but like we are understood. When you tell someone that you understand, you're sorry, and that you want to help, they usually relax. Now, you don't have to be sorry about things that are out of your control, but you can be sorry about the confusion, or about the situation, or how they feel. Write down some other things that you might say to express empathy and help reduce the stress of the caller. When you have a clear understanding of what the caller is experiencing, and you have shown them that you relate to their problem, it's time to propose an action plan for managing their problem. The action plan will depend on the situation at hand and where you work. It may be that you're going to follow the protocols specified by their physician. Perhaps they need to go to the ER, or maybe you're going to have their physician call them back. Regardless of what actions need to take place, how you propose them is just as important as what they are. You want to use comforting terminology that reminds the patient that you are there to help them. For instance, you may say, "Based on what you've described, I'm going to assist you by following the protocols set by your doctor." Or you may say, "I'm concerned about your difficulty breathing. I want you to hang up and call 911. I will call you back in 5 minutes to make sure you are okay." Now, if you need to get their doctor involved, your action plan may be to call him and have him call the patient. Under these circumstances, you may say, I have notated your concerns and symptoms, and I'm going to have your physician contact you to review them with you. I will ask him to call at his earliest convenience. Whatever the action plan is, make sure the patient understands it and realizes that you are there to help. Sometime in your career, you will get an abusive caller, someone who is angry and nasty right from the start, often saying things that you have no control over, and who are unwilling to listen to anything you say, no matter how sweet and empathetic you are. Still, before you roll your eyes and are tempted to give back what they are giving you, take a deep breath and remember that the caller may be in a deep state of distress, illness, or mental instability. Their words and tone are not about you. The good news is that you do not have to subject yourself to verbal abuse. But before you hang up, tell the caller you would like to help them, but you cannot do that when they are speaking in that manner. If they continue screaming, cursing, etc., repeat that you want to help them, but they need to refrain from yelling or cursing or whatever it is that they're doing, or else you will have to hang up. After the second warning, if they do not calm down, you can tell them you're not able to assist them and that you are going to hang up and have their physician contact them. Make sure you tell them you are hanging up and someone else will be in touch. This all sounds easy when you read it on screen, but it's not as easy in the heat of the moment. When a call gets abusive and you need to regroup during the call, you can mute the call as they continue ranting and take some deep breaths. Keep your cool and remember not to take anything personally. In fact, you are a hero. You are the person who can help them even if they don't recognize it. You are fine, and you can help them be fine too. Years ago, I worked nights in a call center. If you think callers can be difficult during the day, the nighttime really amplifies emotions. One night, I answered a call from a man who demanded I send someone to his home to assist him right this minute. He was rude, condescending, demanding, and threatening to get me fired. I tried listening, being empathetic, and all the other skills I knew, but he would not accept the rules and procedures we had in place. And he spoke over the top of me, not even listening to what I was saying. After 10 minutes, I was getting nowhere fast, so I changed my personality. I spoke a little louder, with more conviction. Now, I wasn't rude or condescending, but I was assertive. I took control of the conversation, and I told him what was going to happen, how we operate, and that I was going to help him if he let me. It was amazing. A little power and confidence in my voice, and he backed down. By the end of the call, he was thanking me for all my help. In demanding callers, you never want to match their level of demanding assertiveness. But sometimes you might just need to power up a little to manage the conversation and help the caller. When you have done everything you can and you just can't help a caller, because they only want to hear it from their physician, let the caller know you are no longer able to assist them and you'll have their doctor call them. Then, call their physician, explain the situation, and let them contact the patient. Certainly, we want calls to go well so we can help the caller and/or patient. But sometimes, no matter what you say or how you say it, people are going to be disagreeable to everything. That's just how things are sometimes. So do your best. Know you did your best, and then move on to the next person that you can help.
Please visit our Learning Center for more videos and articles. Please leave comments and share with your colleagues.